in the lineup card as he does every night. The president was there with the vice president. Cal getting pumped up with his kids. His son Ryan, who was lucky enough to be born on an off day and keep the streak alive throughout the first pitch. And then Cal leads his team out on the field. Bobby Bonilla, who has been a teammate since July, got it going. It's been home run derby during this series against the Angels. Then Cal came up. And then came time to make it official. In the fifth, Orioles up 3-1 on Ripken's home run. Manny Alexander, one of his 30 second base partners, grabs the third out in the top of the fifth. Cal comes in, and that's when things got out of hand. The flashbulbs went up, the balloons went up, and Cal went over and gave the shirt off his back to his daughter, Rachel. There's Joe DiMaggio looking on with Frank Robinson, Rod Carew, fellow Hall of Famer there. And then with the urging of Al Bumbry and Rafael Palmeiro, he went off on a victory lap. We had to do something to get this game going again. Cal took off. The fans each got a piece of him and a piece of history, and the Orioles win the game again, 4-2. They hit 10 homers on these 2 nights of celebration.
That if Lou Gehrig is looking down on tonight's activities, he isn't concerned about someone playing one more consecutive game than he did. Instead, he's viewing tonight as just another example of what is good and right about the great American game. Whether your name is Gehrig or Ripken, DiMaggio or Robinson, or that of some youngster who picks up his bat or puts on his glove, you are challenged by the game of baseball to do your very best day in and day out. And that's all I've ever tried to do. Thank you.
To Kansas City we go, and a 50-minute rain delay at Kauffman Stadium. What are the fans doing? Watching Cal, of course. Bottom of 4, Gary Gaetti. Touch them all, Gare. You just went yard. Number 32 on the year, 3-1 Jays after 4. Top of 5, 3-1 Blue Jays. Joe Carter hits a routine pop-up to the sure-handed Greg Gagne, and Gagne drops it. That's not Greg being Greg. Carter ends up on second. Next batter, John Olerud, the talented toothpick. Singles to right, scores Carter. 4-1 Blue Jays with the lead. Bottom of the fifth, 4-1 Jays, bases juiced, 2 out for Brent Cookson. Al Leiter, Case Cookson to end the inning. The Blue Jays go on to win 6-2. The Blue Jays finished their road trip just 2-9. Their previous worst road trip for 8 or more games was 2-8 in July of 1977. The Royals stranded 10 runners, opened a 3-game series at Seattle on Friday. Mariners and the Yanks. Buck Showalter and the Yanks trail 3-0. Bottom of the 6th, Tim Belcher pitching to Deion James. Right at Seattle third baseman Doug Strange, who can't handle it. James safe at first on the Strange error. Then Donnie Baseball. Line drive to right center. Runners at first and third. Tony Fernandez. Base hit off the glove of Edgar Martinez. James scores. Yanks trail 3-1. Then it'll be Randy Velarde's turn. Well hit, and that's going to go off the wall for a double.
Here's a tag team relay.
Fernandez almost catches Mattingly as both runners score. We're tied at 3, and that's all for Belcher.
First pitch to O'Neill.
O'Neill takes the first pitch for a base hit, scoring Velarde. Yanks come from behind to win 4-3. Jack McDowell, pitching on 3 days rest, throws a 6-hitter. He struck out 9 and walked 3, pitching his 7th complete game in 27 starts. He raises his record against the Mariners to 10-1. White Sox and the Rangers. Top of 3, no score. Ray Durham at first. Ron Karkovice. Deep drive to right. Candy Maldonado. Glove the one. You're with, Candy. Tremendous play. Top of the 4th, the Big Hurt versus Tukes. Hurt me. Just Tukes' 6th home run given up in 123 innings. Bottom of the 5th, tied at 2. Candy Maldonado plays long ball.
Deep left field. Get up.
3-run homer, 9th of the year. 5-2 Rangers. White Sox get back in it in the 6th. Lance Johnson to spank. 2-run homer. Part of a 4-run inning. The White Sox win it. And the White Sox have won 8 straight. It's their longest winning streak since an 8-game run in 1991. The Rangers have lost 4 straight and 9 of 10.
And Pat Borders is a little calmer in this matchup. And that is gone. Mark Lewis with a 3-run shot off the Pacific Coast League Player of the Year. Donnie Wall into the Astro rotation, but out of the yard on him. And in the 3rd, Benito Santiago, who was a key player in that brawl, knocks it into the corner. 5-0 Reds. Wall didn't make it out of the 3rd. Meanwhile, John Smiley, whose injuries came from pitching a little too much, made his first appearance since August 21st. He got Bagwell with a looper. He did give up a 3-run homer to Mike Sims, but he gave up just 4 hits overall through 7. He's now 12-2. The Reds stormed through the season set 12-1, reducing their magic number to clinch the Central to 10. Smiley has also won 8 straight on the road as the Reds head for the Rockies. Houston is in Philly on Friday. Speaking of the Phils, at Chavez Ravine this evening, the Dodgers had to win to hold on to the lead in the West. Shot at the box by Chad Fonville. Dave Hansen is a little over-aggressive. Runs through the sign, gets caught in the rundown. Elster, Lieberthal, Morandini is waiting to make the Dodgers out of a rally. Mike Grace, the Phils rookie, making just his 2nd major league start, got Roberto Kelly. But Ismael Valdez was matching donuts in the outside corner, freezing Kevin Elster. 6 strikeouts for Valdez. Still a scoreless game in the 8th. Jim Eisenreich 90 feet away from giving the Phils the lead. Valdez hung the curve. Elster got enough of it to bring in Eisenreich, and that's all that happened. The Phillies pulled it out 1-0 to snap the Dodgers' 3-game win streak. LA finishes 4-9 against the Phils, including getting shut out 4 times. They'll both take Thursday off. LA is heading on a 9-game road trip through Pittsburgh, Chicago, and St. Louis. To the stick, the Giants trying to move past the Expos. Look out for that camera. Look out for that umpire. Top of the 2nd, tied at 1. Tony Tarasco thinks he's got one. Dion's got other ideas. He's going for a climb. He won't get there. Tarasco's 12th. Expos up 2-1. By the 5th, they were up by 4 and then more. Mike Lansing. Lances a 3-run shot that'll score Segui and Berry. The Expos blow it up open, and Dion is thinking football. They win the season series 7-6 over San Francisco with an 8-2 win and break their tie in the wild card standings. Tevo Alvarez picks up his first win, gave up just 2 hits and 2 earned through 7 for his first major.
This is the Rocket Man, strikes out Ricky. Danny Tartable and Stan Javier. Clemens 8 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, and a season-high 10 strikeouts. Red Sox again get the offense from unlikely sources. Dwayne Hosey doubles down the 3rd base line. 2 runs going to come in, and the Red Sox lead the game 5-1. Not finished in the 5th. Bill Hasselman, 2-run shot on the Lansdowne Street, 5th of the year, 8-1 Red Sox. We've seen pitching and hitting. How about some defense? John Valentin, glove me tender, flips for the force. Red Sox had it all night. They win it 8-2 the final. Every Oakland starter except Mike Bordick and Terry Steinbach struck out. Clemens is 5-0 with a 2.06 ERA since the end of July. This is the Rockets' 60th 10-plus strikeout game. Indians and the Brew Crew. Indians very relaxed, close to clinching the AL Central. But the Brewers come out fast in the bottom of the 1st. Johnny Jaha, triple off the wall. B.J. Surhoff scores, 1-0 Brewers. Indians come right back, top of the 2nd. Kenny Lofton facing Brian Gibbons. 2-run double to center.
1 run is in.
And it's 3-1 Indians. Then still top of the 2nd. Here comes the relaxed Albert Bell. Goodwood solid spank. Major league crank. 3-run shot. His 36th. That leads the major leagues. The Indians cruise 12-2 the final. Brewers have lost 9 of their last 10 games. Bell 1 for 3, 3 RBIs. He's now hitting .318 with 105 ribbies.
3-1 lead in the second off Armando Reynoso. Todd Zeal popped it up. Where is in that wind? Eric Young looking everywhere for it. Whew, falls in. Brian McRae, who had doubled in a couple, makes it 4-1 Cubs. Top of the third. Back come the Rockies. It's up in that wind. Sammy, where are you? Larry Walker's fly ball goes off his glove. Trinidad Hubbard is headed home, and he is out of there. Still in the third. 4-2 Cubs, bags loaded, and Jim Bolger lets one get away. Vinny Castillo forces in a run with HBP, and then Jason Bates filling in at shortstop. Hits it into the corner. That's going to clear the bases. Galarraga, Girardi, and Castillo come in. Part of a 5-run third, all with 2 outs. In the last 2 weeks, Jason Bates is now batting .400 as the Rocks rock the Cubs 10-4. They go 5-3 on this road trip. They're headed to Cozy Coors, while the Cubs are a league worst 25-31 at Wrigley, with the Giants and Dodgers still to come in. Bullinger's now 3-4 at home, 8-2 on the road. Another matinee in the Murph. The Mets finishing up with the Padres. 8,300 showed up, and San Diego is well into this wild card race. But facing Scott Sanders, it's the squeeze. Rico Brogna comes in, and Bill Pulsifer, the pitcher, lays down the squeeze. They made it 5-1. All those runs charged to Fernando Valenzuela. But here come the Padres. Ken Caminiti off Pulsifer. Pulsifies one, a 3-run shot, tying a career high, his 18th home run of the year. And then Mark Newfield, the former Mariner who came over in the Andy Bennis trade, hits a line shot. But Mets came back to tie it, only to see San Diego pull it out on Biff Roberts. Base hit. They get 3 hits in the 9th. And he brings in Steve Finley, who's battling a bad back, sat out his 3rd straight game, then started the 9th with a single in his first pinch hit appearance. Tony Gwynn extended his hit streak to 13 games. He had 3 hits, reclaiming the overall batting lead at .367. Joe Robbie, the Pirates and Marlins. Denny Nagel, winless in nearly a month. Greg Colburn takes the curveball and extends his hitting streak to 17 games and scores Chuck Carr. 2-0 Miami. Then the lights went out in right field. Game delayed 15 minutes. Kurt Abbott trying to provide some illumination. And Chuck Carr started lighting up the base pass. Stole second once. Stole it again. Would he try it again? He's just waiting for Angelo Encarnacion to catch him, and he couldn't. 21 steals in the season for Carr, who's missed quite a bit of action with injury. And then Jacob Brumfield, the line to left.
And here is the play.
And they got him. Kevin Young caught Conine to a great plate block by Charles Johnson, and the Marlins hold on by that count, 2-1. Willie Banks had his 2nd strong outing in his last 3 after a brutal start to the season. He gave up just 1 run in 7 after